Well, good morning. This is Crazy Cheap Chick, and I think it's time for another farm update. So this will be Bright Bridge Farm update number 4. And by the next time I do a farm update, hopefully our bridge will be done. We're in the process now, so come along. Let me show you what we've been up to. It's concrete day. So we got all our concrete poured and we're having to keep it watered because my husband's so worried that it's so extremely hot. I mean, it's been over 100 and he thinks if it cures too fast, it might crack. What are you two doing? Yeah? July 6th, it's starting, and I want to do the tomato happy dance. Old John Wayne, always working, so I made him a tall glass of lemonade. I want you to know, I didn't even make a video on how to make lemonade. I just love you so much and appreciate all the work you do. I made you some homemade fresh squeezed lemonade.
Thank you.
That's sweet enough to make your teeth hurt. All right, I'm gonna try to beat my way back. Oh, look at that little tiny cucumber. Cucumber's growing. Back through this mess to pick some tomatoes, because these are first tomatoes of the season. Picked a couple the other day. Oh man, those look, there's nothing better than a homegrown tomato. I always feel so excited. That's going in tonight's tacos. Oh, I can't wait. I love tacos, are my favorite meal about. With homegrown tomatoes, there's nothing better. I was out here working on spray painting these rails of our bridge because we're widening it, and it got super dark, really scary. I ran inside to check the radar. It doesn't look like it's coming here. It looks like it's going all north, but it's going to be super unpredictable today. It could be nothing or it could be severe storms. It's a beautiful foggy morning. We're working on the bridge today, and my 14-year-old grandson, boy, he already knows how to drive that tractor like nobody's business. He took a class. Looks like the boys are making a little progress on the bridge. They got these boards over here on the sides done, and they got the railings all painted. So next they're going to be putting some boards up to attach those glass balusters to. Soon we'll be back to being Bright Bridge Farm again. Yes, I'm talking about you. Talking about you. And you. Talking about you. When I looked at the radar or the weather this morning, it said 0 chance of rain. 0 chance. And now it's really dark and thundering. And that's the way it's been all summer. It's like they've lost the ability to predict it. I was gone for 4 days and I came home and the garden had kind of gotten out of control. Today's harvest. These are an Asian long bean. Cucumbers, that's an Asian cucumber. Squash, this is called candy roaster squash. Zucchini, this is a Tokyo blue, it's like a pumpkin. I think this is a banana squash and this is an acorn. But that is a lot of stuff to pick in one day. And there's more out there that could be picked that I didn't. I'm gonna wait another day or two. I dropped this zucchini coming inside. And so now I'm gonna have to use it right away. I think I'm gonna peel it and grate it and make zucchini bread. And this is probably the difference, you know, like 3 days makes, because when I left for my trip, I didn't have any zucchini. And then I come home to these giant, either I missed it or I just think they grow that fast. If I had left this one, it probably would be just this big in a couple of days. They grow really fast. And I think we're gonna have some yellow squash and zucchini tonight, like we do every night. Well, this is this is our gigantic burn pile, and it really needs burned. And you know, we had this tree come down last storm. Well, this most recent storm, they had this tree split. See it leaning over there? At least it's by the burn pile. And then we've got this dead one that needs to come down. It's like, oh my gosh, trees. I really wanted a hoop to grow my vines up over. Of course, when the vines started growing, I was down in the foot. I hurt my foot really bad, and I couldn't walk on it for about 4 weeks. And so when these vines should have been trained up, they grew out. They grew out. And so I tried to pick them up and put them on there later, which they didn't do too great with that. And I'm still getting plenty from this garden though. I mean, I'm getting so much, and more than we can eat. Look at these. These are spaghetti squash. They're getting pretty big. And what I really wanted to show you, I'm not sure, these are probably candy roaster. I've already got a lot of those. These down here, not sure, something growing down there. And had a lot of zucchini, a lot of yellow squash. Oh, look at that. This is a acorn squash, only it's called like Festival, I think. And what I came in here to show you though was these crookneck squashes. Look at that. Now people think you can't grow really big things from a hoop, but look at it, they do. It's just hanging perfectly straight. They're huge. And I've already got watermelon growing. So these watermelon coming on. You see them? Oh, I see you, buddy. You're pretty big. Living pretty good off frogs, aren't you? These storms did not get enough national play. I mean, we had 60, 70, 80 mile an hour winds, and I have done nothing but pick up sticks today. You know that game when you're a kid, pick up sticks? I really had no idea the relevance it would hold for my life. Well, I feel like I've rather impressively gotten a lot of those green limbs off of this. I've got more, of course, to do over here, but I'm almost 60. There's only so much I can do in a day. And I think just having those limbs off will help my husband a lot. Because now he can reach in there. He doesn't have to mess with all the green stuff. You're a pretty guy. Aren't you pretty? I used to know your name, but I can't think of it at the moment. I know you're not done, but it looks so much better. So we finished getting this all spread out. It's really gonna look good. I've really been trimming up this old apple tree. When we moved in here, this was the only fruit tree on the property. But I think there must have been more at some point, because when we ripped out the cabinets to replace them, there was an old note. It was a to-do list. and it said prune orchard. So there must have been more than one. Well, this tree is in bad shape. I should have taken a before picture. And I just cut all the dead out of it, but it still produces apples. And all my other trees, the apple trees I've planted, they're not producing apples. Not this year. They did last year. We had a late freeze, I guess. And so all my other fruit trees, I think the only fruit I'm going to get this year is peaches. So everyone was telling us, oh, you should just cut that old apple tree down. It's no good. And you know, I look at it and I look at its will to survive. It's still productive. And then I look at myself in the mirror and I think, yeah, I can't cut that down. I did. This is about the third or fourth cart that I've taken back to the burn pile. And my husband asked me to keep all the wood for him to use for smoking meat. So now he's got plenty of apple wood, I think. I just mowed here earlier today. And I was outside and I heard a loud crack. And I looked around and it was this tree limb from way up there. I could be dead me under there. It just shows you can be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, can you imagine if that had come down when I was mowing over here? And I was just mowing over here. Oh, that's terrifying. My burn pile is getting exceptionally big. Oh, brother. Are we having a staring contest? You know I always win these. You have never once won a staring contest with me. Now yesterday it was dry enough I was able to kind of mow all in here, but I still have a lot of weed eating to do. And currently the creek is not running. The creek usually stops running in August and then restarts back up after about a month or two. So it's not really a creek as much as a bourne, an intermittent creek. And we've got this little pool of water here, and there's a whole bunch of fish trapped in there. Well, today we are starting back in on the bridge project. These large boards go up here along the top. And then we've got some smaller boards that we'll use on the bottom. And the glass that used to be up, we're reusing. And I'm going to have to clean all those. That's going to be a big job. And that's what the cross, that's what keeps little kids from running off the end of the bridge is the purpose. It's going to be really super hot today, and we'll see how we do. First step is cutting these boards down because they're not the right length. Okay, so we're going to glue this down underneath there.
Yep.
And what's my job going to be?
You're going to hold this still as I run this along here, so it, okay?
All right. I always hate using those things. I think they're hard.
Hey.
Okay, so we got that track all glued up in there. That's where the light rail will go. That's where the lights will snap in. So we'll be Bright Bridge Farm again. We just have it laid out on top so we can put the glue on. And then you have 10 minutes to glue it down. Has to be pretty fast. Poor John Wayne having to fix the lawnmower because I broke another spindle. I'm always trying to help you though. Then I ran out of gas, and the gas goes right here, and I put it right here, which is the hydraulic fluid. And I did like soak it all out immediately, But hopefully I've not done any great harm. I don't know. And
when you ran out of gas.
When I ran out of gas, I left the battery on and ran down the battery. And while we were working on the bridge, I hit my husband in the groin with a board. Poor John Wayne. Poor John Wayne. Needless to say, I don't think I'm going to be allowed to mow anymore. They're installing the lights. My grandson and John Wayne. It's going to get to 103 today. Ugh. It feels 108. Tired? Too early? Not ready to wake up yet? What is up with all you grasshoppers? Boy, my plants are just loaded with cherry tomatoes, and I've been too lazy to come pick them. Look at my really tall sunflowers. When I grew them, I didn't realize they were going to be 20 foot tall. But they are some really tall sunflowers. Pretty though. And then, when you look down my hoop, obviously it's weedy. Remember, I've had a bum foot all summer. But look at all that fruit growing in there, hanging down. Some watermelons, crookneck squash. It's not been the best weather to grow stuff. Well, the boys are going to get these limbs up today. Sun's starting to come out. It's going to be really hot and steamy. And that big limb that came out up front, they've already got it all cut up. Well, you guys made short work of that one. Yeah. From here, it looks like John Wayne is burning down my garden. You fertilizing the garden with ashes?
Yeah. I was going to put the tile over on top of the fire. It's going to be done.
Okay. Have a video to show the ER. That just happened. It terrifies me. Well guys, thanks for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. Hope it gives you a good idea of what we've been doing. I think by the next farm update we'll have that bridge done and hopefully some other stuff completed too. So follow along. Please give me a like, comment, share, or subscribe.